Let's meet the Smith family. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Bill.
G'day, Bill, and what's your name?
My name is Ben.
G'day, Ben, what's your name?
I'm Janiel.
G'day, Daniel.
No, Janiel.
What?
Janiel.
You mean Daniel?
Janiel?
Janiel?
Janiel.
What do you mean, Janiel?
Think Daniel, think January, smoosh them together. It's Janiel.
Janiel?
My name is Janiel.
All right, and what's your name?
My name is January. TBTL.
And I stand in and lean back and then just bam. And it sails away out through the universe like a radio wave that goes past Saturn and Jupiter, Pluto, through the black hole, and into many other galaxies yet named.
Call Kenny Loggins, because you're in the danger zone. From Top Gun?
Just be careful.
No.
And, right on, you midnight cowboys. That's not a thing.
Well, all right. Hello, good morning, and welcome everyone to a Thursday edition of TBTL, the show that just might be too beautiful to live.
You know, you got to eat that microphone.
My name is Luke Burbank. I am your host.
I don't know who that is, and I don't care to find out.
Coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona.
This is the way we talk in Tucson, Arizona.
And the Hyatt Place Hotel. I believe it's the Palace Conference Room at the Hyatt Place Hotel. Where else would I be bringing you episode 4612 in a collector's series?
Let the fun begin.
I am already having an incredible Thursday. I got something very kind was done for me, something that hasn't happened in years and years today from a dear friend of mine, a dear friend of the show. We'll talk about that coming up in a moment. Also, it's a Thursday, a.k.a. a Blur's Day, so we'll do the Blur's Day messages as we like to on Thursdays. And we'll, of course, talk to this guy, longest-running co-bro of the show, maybe best known for his depictions of the tall ships. He's wearing a very handsome shirt that his daddy gave him.
Your voice is like a combination of Fergie and Jesus.
He's Andrew Walsh, and he's joining me right now. Good morning, my friend.
We don't say daddy. We don't say daddy. In my family...
Well, there was a lot of pressure on me to embrace that term on the show. People, would like to say that they were the perfect daddy or someone was their TBTL daddy, and I felt like I was being kind of a prude, and now I finally embrace it, and you tell me it's an HR violation.
That's a figurative daddy. You're falling into the classic trap of mixing up a figurative daddy with a literal daddy. But my father did give me the shirt. I like it. It seems to fit me well.
It looks really nice on you.
Thank you. He did not let me leave Cleveland without at least trying it on. Try it on. Try it on. All right, I'll try it on. And now it's my favorite shirt.
Walt and I had a whole thing going for years. This is when I was a teenager and I lived at home. But my dad had a lot of flannel shirts and things from the 70s, which then by the early 90s had cycled back into being in style, particularly in the grunge movement. Mm-hmm. And so, I would constantly steal, his flannel shirts and things like that were, again, back in fashion. But he somehow got it in his mind that I was also stealing his underwear, which is...
those grunge underwear that you wanted so
badly.
badly.
I mean, you want to talk about grunge in the most literal sense. And he would just say this sometimes, be like, I'm talking about nowadays, if we're talking about the olden times, we'd be like, oh, yeah, when Luke used to borrow my underwear. And I'm like, sir, that...
Wow.
Really never happened.
That's defamation. That is defamation.
That is not how you be a daddy.
No,
that's not how you are a good daddy.
No, it
hey,
is not.
We can't go on any longer without introducing our special guest today and our special friend. And by the way, as I said a couple times now, maybe the first person who I'm not paying money to who's picked me up at the airport in about a decade. It's our friend, the one, the only, Nora McInerny.
You're like the coolest person I've ever met.
Oh, thank you for having me. I've been laughing out loud but silently this whole time.
Thank you for not spoiling the reveal.
I really tried. But I was head back, full laugh, but no sound.
It's kind of fun to do the show, or at least my half of the show here, with an audience. Also, one of the things, Nora, that's so great about you, you're a good laugh. You're very supportive, but it made me feel like the intro was going okay, because there's a lot going on here. We're in a very antiseptic conference room at a Hyatt talking, and we both got one earbud in. The way I talked you into it was telling you the last person who used that earbud was television's Chris Hayes, so it's kind of got celebrity earwax on it.
I said, put it in my ear right now. I said, Chris Hayes, get that AirPod in my ear.
Yeah. So it's a lot, and then I'm like, well, is this going to be a good show or not from a technical standpoint? But your silent laughing gave me the confidence I needed to get the show started today. So thank you for that.
Well, I hope you also know that when I listen at home alone or at my office alone with my headphones on, when I'm not listening to just white noise or nothing, I'm listening to this, and that's how I laugh.
Aww.
I laugh like that. I think you two are the funniest people in the world. You're the brothers I never had. I have 2 brothers. And what people don't know is that you guys work so hard. Yeah, you pushed 40 to 50 buttons before we even started. Like, that's a lot. And what people also don't understand is that we are in a room that is, I've never seen so much gray.
It is. You know that particular color that all of the apartments and the homes that were being flipped went with? Andrew, you told me a term for it once. It's like a combination of gray and sadness.
Yeah.
It's new build gray. It's new build gray. It's millennial gray. It's just gray to the point where I think we're attractive people. We look horrible right now on screen. This is the worst we'll ever look. I look dead. I look like somebody found me like in a barrel. Like, I really look very ill and dead.
Here's what it doesn't look like.
My screen is the connection we have is not perfect. So you both kind of look like blobs to me, but very attractive blobs. Very attractive blobs. So please don't be too hard on yourself.
Here's what it's not, Nora. And again, we won't use any of the visuals from this out of respect.
Use a clip where, like, you show a side by side of us right now with what we look like in just normal light. People will be shocked. Like, the lighting, the color scheme in here, I can't imagine a person thriving in a professional environment. If you had to sit for 8, even 2 hours in a presentation in here, there's something psychologically damaging to it. And I think Hyatt should be aware of that, and maybe they are.
You would have entered The Chair Company, the TV show. The obsession of mine and Andrew's for the last couple of weeks. And, like, this is, Andrew, this is right out of a scene from The Chair Company. And the reason
There's
we're
a show
in this
pic
room
that I used actually about, 2 weeks ago of Tim Robinson standing in a room exactly like that by himself in an empty office with that color just looking at his phone. I'm going to ask 2 favors here really quickly to start to cut you off. Luke, could you kill that knob that has the drops on it? I'm getting a lot of buzz on that. And Nora, could you hold up a newspaper with today's date on it just to, like, really kind of complete the scene?
This is like where we are right now, the backdrop. It is like a hostage video, but with lower stakes. It's not like the Taliban has us. It's like Marty from Business Development has us, and there is a lunch later. We will get out of this room.
Yes.
But you know what I mean? But, like,
promise you the Taliban has better style. I promise you their sense of interior space, design, even hospitality, frankly, is better than this Hyatt Place conference room. And I hope that the team at Hyatt hears this. I hope they take it to heart. Like, this, something is energetically very wrong with this room.
It's sucking the life out
but we're
of you.
going to survive.
The reason that we're in this room is because I flew here this morning from Miami, and I was going to ask Nora, basically when I had you kind of like nearby where I could make the case, I was going to ask you if you would want to come on the show for a few minutes so we could just catch up and everything. We love you. You're a big hit guest on the program. But I also didn't want us to go into my hotel room, which we know each other for a long time. We know there's no weirdness, but it, still, like, I don't know what the room layout is. I don't know if we're going to be sitting on the bed together. That might be they were.
I'm sorry, that's so Mike Pence of you. You can't go to a hotel room
Mother won't let me.
with a woman you've known for 10 years. You can't say, come to my hotel room and record in a possibly queen-size bed.
I just, wanted to err on the side of not making anything feel a little off, a little weird. So I asked.
Well, your
them if they
original
could,
idea was to do it in a jacuzzi, Luke. That's what you pitched me on. That
which
you two were going
is,
to be in a
by the way,
jacuzzi
being
together.
cleaned.
Right. Oh, right.
Because Mike Pence was here last week, and they have to absolutely power wash that thing. It is some unspeakable things happen in there with him and Mother. Yeah. That does seem like Mike Pence's idea of a jacuzzi would be fill it up with milk. Just room temperature milk. Sit in there. But so they were nice enough to offer me the use of this conference room. This was actually brokered by Colin Miller, who is the CFO of Wait, Don't Tell Me. He set this up for me because I asked him if he could intervene, and he did. So thank you, Colin.
Oh wow.
I do have some news, Nora, about tonight's Wait, Don't Tell Me that I also wanted to wait till we were together because I feel it may cause you to no longer come to the show tonight.
What is it?
Tig Notaro is a scratch.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I'm sad, but I'm really just there to see you.
Aw. Wait, where's my sound effect? Where's my aw sound effect? Yeah, that's a... Oh, I turned down the knob. No one's going to...
Do they need me?
I mean, that would have been an amazing...
Tig Notaro can't make it. What if there's a taller, straighter woman who no one's heard of?
That's not true at all. A lot of people have heard of, and actually, it's funny. This is a conversation we should be having off air, so why not do it here? But I was like, well, I only found out this morning that Tig is not on the show because they sent around this little thing about the made up story versus the real one, and I didn't see Tig Notaro on the email chain, and so I emailed one of the producers. I go, oh, she not doing it anymore? And they were like, yeah, last minute scratch. But if I would have even had 3 days, I would have said, you got to have Nora on. You would be such a natch for this show. So it starts tonight backstage. I want you to be your absolute funniest in front of the producers. No pressure. And I know you should totally be on the show. It's so up your alley. But no, in fact, they did book. They did. I guess I don't know if it's going to be a Shantira Jackson, who's very funny, and Alonzo Bowden, who's really funny. I don't know which one of them was the Tig the replacement. I know it wasn't me, only because you saw some kind of internet posting about this, and that's how you reached out.
I got an ad, and I said, I have to find out about this from a targeted Instagram ad. It was effective. I screenshot it. I sent it to you, and I said, I'm picking you up from the airport with a dagger emoji. I said, that's a threat. I'll see you there.
And this is, she's not doing this for effect, folks. This is really how this whole thing went down. And I was obviously very flattered, or I felt very cared for, not afraid, cared for. But I feel like for most people in normal life, I would say picking up people at the airport or taking them to the airport is right below moving, helping them move, as far as the things that people typically kind of like try to get out of. And so I didn't want you to feel like you had to do that. And then you said something to me amazing. You said, it's my favorite errand.
Yeah, I have 100% my favorite errand. I love picking people up from the airport. I love bringing people to the airport. I think also Sky Harbor, plug for Sky Harbor. It's just a lovely airport. It's a nice pickup, drop-off experience. Short-term parking, like it was, $3?
That's for CBS to iron out.
Okay, it was $300. I think it was $300 when we paid cash. And I don't know, I just love it. I loved being picked up from the airport when I was younger. That was something my parents always did for me. And I also just, I spend a lot of time alone. Like, I don't have an Andrew, so I'm mostly alone. Yeah, I don't have an Andrew, and I want everyone in the audience to go, oh, I never thought of it that way. Just, oh.
Can I be your Andrew? I'd be happy to be your Andrew.
Look, okay? It's like, but you're so busy doing this, and like you're so attentive to Luke and his needs. Like, realistically, like you can't handle two Lukes. Mm-hmm. No one can.
Yeah, but I mean,
inside all of us, there are two Lukes.
That relationship,
and they both have bad credit.
A little bit stale, honestly.
They'll be there in 5 minutes. Okay, you don't understand. Like, we're on the way, and also,
I will say though, you were like early to pick me up from the airport today, which I didn't realize you were going to come into the airport. So we're texting with each other, and I'm guessing that you're doing that move where you're just circling the pickup area and just hoping that you sort of catch me at a moment and then getting yelled at by someone. I mean, I don't think that there's an angrier group of people than whoever is assigned to tell you to keep it moving at the airport. Mm-hmm. That's a strong reproach from those folks. But no, I'm texting with you about athleisure, and I turn around and there you are.
I was at your baggage claim, but also because I pulled up and I said, this looks busy. It's a Wednesday in December. I don't know why everyone's coming here. It's weird to me. It's never that busy unless it's spring break or like a holiday, no, it's too late for the snowbirds to be coming down. Right when the weather turns up north, then it starts getting crowded at the airport. But to circle there is actually more annoying than just doing short-term parking, right? We took the elevator up. Where was my car? Right there.
Piece of cake. And by the way, without doxing Nora, a very easy car to identify because it is a very unique color. I believe it is Miami blue.
It is. It's Miami blue. It's the most obnoxious car you've ever seen. And a man at the car wash today said it was sexy. And I am in day 4 of Diane Keaton December, so I know he meant it. I know he meant it about the car. I know he wasn't speaking about me. And I do move through the world believing that every Buddy is in love with me. Like, if you've seen me, you're going to pine for me for the rest of your life. But he was looking at the car, and that's okay.
Diane Keaton, December.
I think it could.
What is this?
Yeah, I wish. Again, I don't want to get into like objectifying or anything, but Nora. First of all, Nora looks phenomenal and amazing, but is wearing an outfit that Diane Keaton would definitely have been wearing in Annie Hall to great effect.
Yes, now I can see you guys a little bit better.
You don't even know if I have a body. Okay, you don't even know if I've got trouser jeans on. I'm wearing. It's going to be 70 degrees today. Okay, button down, cashmere sweater. What is this? A blazer. Dementia.
Is it houndstooth? Maybe not quite. Checkers of some kind.
Of some kind.
A cravat.
Yeah, a little scarf because she never. No, can't even see that. Do I have a neck? You'll never know. And then glasses. So yeah,
It is so working. It's a great look.
Good look.
Thank you.
I will also say that, like, for all of the pushback I gave you on saying, no, you don't have to come pick me up, it really made me super happy. And and what it's reminding me of is, like, because I do so much work travel, and I've moved past ever, like, asking anyone or expecting anyone in my life to ever pick me up from the airport. I always just, like, get in a Lyft or an Uber or whatever. And there are some times, because Portland Airport has been totally remodeled now, and they have one of the cool things they did was they have this, like, very beautiful, like, blonde wood bleachers. They're like stadium style bleachers right where you come through security, like after you've landed. So now you're outside of security. And there's something about having dedicated seating. People love it. People come pick their loved ones up at the airport. They have balloons. And sometimes I'll be walking out from this, and, you know, maybe it's even sort of late at night, a long week of traveling, and there'll just be people with signs and balloons, and I'll kind of pretend it's for me.
Oh, Luke. But it's faster, and also you do travel a lot for work, and I got to bring you a Diet Coke.
That was another thing that she did, said, what's your beverage of choice? How about a nice cold Diet Coke? And gosh darn it, if there was a nice cold Diet Coke waiting for me in the Miami blue vehicle.
Right? And I had to problem solve it a little. I said, how will I keep this warm or cold if it's delayed at all? And so I had an empty candle vessel, and I filled it with ice, and I put the Coke in it, so as the ice melted, it could keep the Coke cold. Jam that in the cup holder. It's fun for me. I can't explain it. It's fun for me. When do you leave tomorrow?
Very early. My flight is at 7 a.m.
Oh, that's I can do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna come get you tomorrow. Look outside. The car is going to be there.
Wait, hold on. What time do you get to the airport for a 7 a.m. flight, Luke? I get there at 5 a.m., but you guys are both last-minute flyers.
No. I mean, to me, it's no. Not no. A 7 a.m. or let me. I do have an alert from Alaska that says it is time to check in for the flight, which is, you know, the move. I fly a lot. There's a lot. Nora has seen two very, very private sides of me, Andrew, just since we've been here. One was the desktop on my computer, which has hundreds of files and documents and photos. Anything that I don't know where I want to actually put it for the time being, I just drag it to the desktop, and I figure I'll go back and deal with it later. But it is very, very, it's disorganized and pretty unhinged looking. And then I'm in the Alaska app trying to see what's going on. Just get the exact time on my flight tomorrow. And Nora was observing my 7 a.m. is when my flight is. I can now check in for it. Let's play this fun game. Am I going to be first on the wait list for the upgrade? Because that's I would think 7 a.m., right? Flying from Phoenix to Seattle. This is a chance for me to also mention tomorrow night, Livewire in Seattle. Please come out. It's going to be fun. Rick Steves will be there at Benaroya Hall. Yes. Would love to see some of the 10s there. Still some tickets available, if you know what I mean. But anyway,
do you mean that there are still some tickets available? Is that what that means?
That's exactly what I mean, Andrew. Okay, let's go to wait list. We want to see, drum roll, please.
You're number one.
BUR/L. Number one on the wait list for the upgrade. So that's sweet. But all that is to say, Andrew, to answer your question, I will be there tomorrow. Ideally, I would show up exactly. So I did in Miami today. I try to be walking into the airport exactly 1 hour before the flight is leaving. That is, and you know, that's like with Alaska Airlines, for instance, they will not let you check your bags in anymore within 45 minutes of the flight. And that to me is the only hard deadline. If I can just, as long as I can if I get there an hour before, that gives me 15 minutes to get my bags on their way to the underside of the plane, and then the getting through, you know, I have clear and all of that business, and so it's pretty quick, it's pretty easy.
On the busiest day at Sky Harbor, it's never taken me more than 10 minutes to get through security.
Really? I am shocked at how few people, because I was flying on the Sunday after Thanksgiving. I flew from Portland out to Miami, and I was really surprised. The line was insane for the non-TSA pre-check folks. And again, I guess this is just because I travel so much. I'm a little surprised that more people have not availed themselves of the pre-check, because it is, you've got it now, right, Andrew?
No, I do not yet.
You still don't have it?
No,
I'm
I finally am on the calendar to get my, enhanced driver's license that'll give me like the real
ID.
ID.
Get a real ID. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't have my real ID
Did you
yet.
not get radio ads saying get a real ID?
No, yeah, I've been hearing it for like a decade or more. I just used my passport for the past like 6 months or a year since it kicked in.
That
but
stresses me out. Okay.
Literally, I don't know if I told you this, Luke. I have an appointment on Christmas Eve at 4 p.m. to go get my enhanced driver's license for real ID. It was
Is Bob Cratchit going to be the guy helping you at the DMV?
Well, imagine. So that was the first time available. So I took it, and this was about a month ago. How excited do you think those employees are going to be to see me walk in the door at 4 p.m. on Christmas Eve to screen me and give me a new ID? I'm expecting the worst customer service possible, and rightfully so.
I want you to go full Scrooge. I want you to go in and you go, I expect you'll be wanting all of tomorrow off.
I think based on like your persona too and like your in-person warmth, they're going to be so relieved to see you, because everybody else who's come in for the past 23 days has been so vile. Like, so you are going to be a breath of fresh air. You're going to bring a ham. You're going to bring one bean and slice it up.
Yes.
And
Yes.
pass it out to everybody. And everybody's going to feel better having gotten you there. And honestly, I bet you get your real ID so fast because you're so lovely.
You know, well,
I
thank
think you bring in a Stanley tumbler of spiked eggnog.
Ooh, I
and
love
you give
this.
everyone just a little, not anyone taking the driving test, but the people on
Wait,
the
I
other
don't think
side of the glass.
I don't think I have to take a driving test, do
Oh,
I?
okay. Well, then you can have some.
Yeah, then I can have a little
I
bit.
had to take a written driver's test right now. And by the way, I think they should make us take written driver's tests
Yeah.
more. I got so many complaints. But like people just like, they'll just block an intersection. I'm like, you're not supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't go if you don't think you can get through. And like, even if you're on a road, like, don't block like the turn to the other. Like, what are you doing? People have to take written driver's tests. I want to bring those back. Spontaneous written driver's tests.
I see. Maybe even the cops can do it if they get pulled over. I took the driving test like maybe 4 or 5 years ago because I changed my driver's license from Washington State to Oregon because I was living in Portland, and I was kind of stressed because you get to miss like 5 of them or something, and there's the gimmies, but then I think it was like I got like 4 wrong, and it was like and it was during the pandemic, so there were no appointments. I had to drive to Coos Bay, Oregon, which is really far it was like 3 hours away for the only appointment. And it was like, if I fail this test, I can't just retake it. I have to like get a new appointment, or I have to like go home and then come back to Coos Bay. It was like when that mouse or whatever I was using was hovering over the final question, which was like basically, do I have to come back here and do this again? And I clicked it and like went green, or I passed. I don't know if it gave me confetti. I was seriously relieved.
I would be too. And I had to take it. I can't remember under what circumstances, but I do remember the tricky questions were about distances, 5,000 feet, 500 feet. If gun to my head, if you said which one, if you asked me to identify what is 500 feet, I'd say pull the trigger, baby. You and I don't know.
As we established today, you and I, as we took let's just say a circuitous route to this Hyatt.
Yeah. I said, what is 0.3 miles? What do you even mean? Like, when would I take the right? Just say like
3, 2, 1, go. Yeah.
I need a navigator who's like, see that blue car? Okay, now go there. Okay, and then there's that tree. Okay, stop. Like, that's what I need. Not like 0.3 miles. What are you even talking about?
Yeah, as we were talking today, as we did, I believe, maybe miss the turnoff and then maybe go down and get off of the freeway and do a U-turn and come back on the freeway going in the other direction. A move I've pulled so many times. If it's anything under a mile, my assumption, in other words, when the mapping software is telling me do this in 0.4 of a mile, I'm assuming that it's in the next 20 feet. It feels like an immediate, urgent admonishment to me to start. And like, but I've been using this software for years and years and years, and no part of my brain has sort of evolved to understand that like 4/10 of a mile is still pretty far away. I still have some time. Like if I see 4/10 of a mile, I'm just fully swinging the wheel and crossing 4 lanes of traffic to get in the right turn lane.
We had to do that when there was 0.2 miles. I thought we had time, and I was like, nope. That was the only time on the freeway in Phoenix when someone has been driving less than 85, and it was the Prius who would not let me switch lanes. I was like, brother, I need you. Yeah. I need you to go. I need you to go because I think I'm taking a vital turn. What I'm really doing is taking a turn for the worse because we've already missed several turns and we got to go the opposite direction. And then as we got here, I said, oh, my office is over here. What? I was driving the opposite direction and I don't know where.
And if you want to know, Andrew, how well it's going for our friend Nora McInerny, and I'll be vague here because I don't want to, again, give away too much info, but has a place of work that she goes to that is not inside her own home. That is the ultimate content creating flex because the rest of us are just mostly in our homes or possibly a very depressing Hyatt Place conference room.
I had to because, I was working at home it's been 10 years since I've been self-employed, always working at home. 2020 to 2023, doing that at home during a pandemic with children. I've apologized to my kids numerous times and it'll never be enough. I was such a horrible bitch. Really? I was like, stop fucking talking. The on-air light is on. Okay. I'm recording an ad for Brooklinen. Okay. So I know you're playing, but I need everyone to shut up because I'm going to snap. I've been in this house alone with all of you for several years now, and when you breathe, it bothers me. And if you pass a note under the door to say, "Can I have Roblox?" I'm gonna snap. I'm gonna jump out the window. Oh, we have a 1-story house. Okay, well then I'll be rolling an ankle. So I was like, I gotta get out. It's gonna be better for everyone. 10-minute drive there, 10-minute drive back. It's like that's kind of, it's very good for me. It's very good. Yeah.
Well, speaking of the Nora McInerny experience, how do people find you? What's the latest with your shows and your writing and by the way, your phenomenal Instagram feed, which is a great follow, which I love.
Thank you. I'm nothing. I don't know. I'm so boring. I'm so boring. I don't know. Who cares? Who cares? I love your show. I renamed my show, I think, since we, So it was terrible. Thanks for asking. And then I was like, now it's just called Thanks for Asking. I should have a tighter speech about that, but it's just like you can't be terrible forever, you know.
I think that honestly, I think about this a lot, like the change of the name of your show, and it's actually so like it's beautifully efficient, and it I guess you just sort of got fortunate in that way. That Thanks for Asking is a great name for a show, and that you were able to sort of like reframe it a little bit so it's not purely grief.
Yeah, it's not, and you can call in. We can talk about anything, pretty much.
Nice.
612-568-4441. And I don't know, guys. I'm on Instagram. It's okay.
What you have figured out, though, see, this is why you find this room so particularly punishing to be in, and it is from just a lighting standpoint. Because when I see you on Instagram and your studio and your backdrop, it is like it looks great. You have it dialed in.
Content-wise, I do need you to send me a clip from this that shows you when I say I look like a dead person. Versus my lighting, you know what I look like when you leave a potato out for too long and it starts to get like a little green, a little gray, and you're like, that's not a potato.
That's how you look here, not how you look at McInerny Industries.
At McInerny Industries, I look like a healthy russet potato. Here, I look like a potato that's been set on the counter too long. And you know what I recently heard? You might have to double check this, but it's like if a potato's green, that's poisonous.
No way.
Yeah, verify that, but it's like that's a sign like no good.
So in other words, if it's unripe to the degree like it's green, it still hasn't even
when it's green, it's like that's showing it's rotted. It's like it's bad. It's giving off name something that's bad that happens naturally. Not radon.
You mean like as a chemical maybe?
Like there's something in it that's like it's a danger sign. You'd have to eat I think 1,000 of them to like really, but it's like don't eat those potatoes. Like those are potatoes that can go.
I thought you were looking for we call it an eye, or is it an ear? What is the thing it's an eye that's growing off of the potato? That's when I was like, this is sprouted, this is bad. But the green is also dangerous.
The green is dangerous. I grew up saying like you just lop off the eye, like you just dig it out. Like my mom was like, okay, so it's growing roots. Grow up and slice this potato up. That's all there is for dinner. Okay.
I got into a phase this year where I'm trying to not eat as much processed foods. I used to be like all low carbing and stuff, which would mean potatoes were off the list. But then I said, I'm just going to eat whatever I want to eat as long as it's minimally processed, which includes potatoes. So then I got on a potato kick, but it did involve me having to Google how to bake a potato, which is kind of a low point because it is applying heat to a thing. It's for a long time, but it seems like that's the lowest level of cooking, and I did print the recipe out.
But also, I can't remember numbers. So it's like, is it 400? Is it 425? Is it 375? Is it 350? Do you know off the top of your head? No, print it. I don't know how you cook chicken. Every single time I say cooking chicken, temperature question mark?
That's what you Google. You mean you Google that all the time?
Yes.
I do that all the time too. I'm always like, because I roast broccoli all the time, but I can never remember, and I'm always typing in roast broccoli time temperature.
Time temperature question mark? How much? How soon? Now? That was you trying to get me to go and say goodbye. Goodbye. I love you guys. Friend of the show forever. Like, call me anytime. I'll pick you up tomorrow. I have to give you your AirPod back. And I have to go to work. Okay, I have work to do.
Exactly.
Okay,
and conveniently, you work right by here if you're able to find it.
And you know what I realized? I never paid for parking.
Oh,
but you know what? I'm blessed. Big deal. Like, what are they gonna do? Give me a ticket? Probably not.
No, I don't think that this Hyatt place is overly sort of like patrolled by security. I think that they put all their money into these handsome gray tables that we're sitting by. I have to get out of here. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks,
Thank
Nora.
you.
We love you. Bye. Thank you so much. That's Nora. Nora just noticed a massive glob of earwax on the AirPod that she was using. So it's either mine, Chris Hayes's, or hers.
Is that real? Are you serious?
Yeah, Nora's saying it wasn't hers. She's a woman. They don't have earwax, which does not fully check out with my understanding of biology.
That is not science. That is not science. It was great to hear from Nora. It's been way too long for me. I think you guys have been a little bit more touched. I was surprised. Well, not surprised, but it was enlightening to hear that she found out you were in town through a social media ad. Because I'm being serious. I hope you take this in the right way. And certainly your friends in various states, I think, will take this in the right way. I don't think of you as somebody like when you're passing through some places, you're like, I'm going to look up my friends there, because you're usually traveling for work. It's going to be in and out. Yeah. It's going to add another thing to your sort of like, busy schedule or whatever. And so when I heard that you were getting together with Nora, I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So you reached out to Nora for your brief stay there, but no, she saw it. She had a targeted ad saying that her friend was in town.
Yeah, I want to actually get better about that, though, because, like, for instance, last night in Miami, I had dinner with 10 named Dan and his lovely 11. We had a little Neapolitan-style pizza. It was wonderful there in South Beach, and I really enjoyed getting to hang out. And like, typically, the mode that I'm in when I'm traveling for this work stuff is, like, I don't want any appointments. I don't want any schedule that I have to keep outside of what's related to my work stuff and my TBTL stuff. And then when I'm not doing the CBS thing or TBTL, I want to just be able to go and lie on my bed in the hotel room and like look at TikTok or something. And yet, when I actually do spend time with people, I really enjoy it. Like it was so much fun, like seeing Nora at the airport and then like hearing the whole story of what she's been up to lately and this truly wild car that she has, which she was, and it's just, she's such a fun, great person to hang out with. So that was so much better than me getting into an Uber and putting my headphones in and I don't know, listening to Pod Save America or something. My point is, I think it would be good for my mental and emotional health if I rethought that a little bit, if I wasn't such a lone wolf, because part of all this travel, it is very lonely making. And I think I was thinking about that a lot in Miami because so many of the people that were there were like with their significant others, and like I was like having dinner a couple of different nights. I'm having dinner just by myself, either at a table or sitting at the bar, and people are on dates or people are celebrating things. And it's like so much of my life, because of the travel schedule, is me being in places where I'm very dislocated. I either don't know anyone or I don't want to bother anyone who's in that area. And I just think of myself as being like a man on a mission. And then I wonder like, why do I feel lonely all the time? Well, that could be kind of part of it. There's that saying that you can be alone in a crowd of people. And I think I spend a lot of time in crowds of people, but I'm not interacting with them a lot or whatever. So yeah, I think I need to try to update that. That being said, yeah, no, I didn't reach out to Nora and say, hey, I'm going to be in your town. Come pick me up.
Yeah. She literally got an ad saying Luke is going to be in town. But I do feel like you.
Well, and worse, an ad for Tig Notaro being on the show, which then fell apart.
Oh, right.
I'm legit nervous about this tonight. This is we're in a very, very big venue. I think it's 5,000 people. And I don't know how many of those tickets were moved because of the Tig Notaro factor, but Tig is a very popular performer.
And so a lot of these folks don't even know yet. Folks are going to show up and they're not going to know unless they're really following the website closely or something.
Exactly. Well, I think, the wait staff, the second that the schedule changed and they changed the lineup up a little bit, I know that the wait staff immediately pulled all the advertising and redid it, and like they're being nothing but above board. But the way people's minds work is you see an ad, you're like, oh, wait's coming to town, Tig's on, and you buy the tickets, and then you just kind of don't think about it again until you're sitting in the theater tonight, and they're like, no Tig Notaro, but guess what? We do have a Luke Burbank.
That's a lot of pressure.
That's not what anyone wants as a replacement. So we'll see how it goes tonight.
You know what I just realized, and this is very relevant and a very mature thing for me to point out. If you had a bunch of people serving food to the people who work on Wait, Don't Tell Me, it would be the wait staff.
I had another similarly mature thought, which I meant to ask Nora about, which is, I wonder if people call Nora sometimes Nor, just kind of for short.
Oh, Nor.
And like Nor, just like a shortened version of her name. The problem is, though, with the rise of all the Australianness and the Australian accent, if you were excited to see Nora in the airport, you might go, oh, Nor.
Or Nor.
Which would sound like you weren't happy to see her, but you would be very happy to see her. But because we now all say Nar as a funny joke, it could be confusing, Andrew. That's what I'm saying.
It is also, while we should move on, because I know that you have things to do and places to be as well.
You got to be on Seattle tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. That's coming up in a little bit. You're doing multiple podcasts today.
Do you want to talk about coyotes in urban environments? I've got some thoughts.
Is that one of the topics? Can you tell me what the topics are? I was going to say, I think it's interesting that Nora did evolve the name of her show, and I think evolve is the right word there. It's sort of tempting. Should
we consider it over here?
I mean, it's a risk, like we have established a brand, but like hers was such a clean transition, sort of, you know what I mean? It would have to really make a lot of sense. But anyway, don't worry, listeners, we're not doing anything. Just a thought I had, and it's just a refreshing way to look at what Nora does and how these things evolve over time, especially what she does on multiple platforms and stuff. What other topics are on the list? So you're going to be taping this afternoon an episode of Seattle Now podcast for KUOW that'll come out tomorrow. Are you allowed to tell us what else is coming up other than Urban Coyotes?
I do not know, and I do not care what the rules are. I will tell you right now. So we're doing Urban Coyotes.
That's something that we talked about on TBTL just last week, because I have all those coyotes in my neighborhood.
And I've now learned something, because I take my appearances on Seattle Now very seriously, unlike my TBTL appearances. So I did read the materials, and it turns out coyote hazing is a big thing. Are you familiar with coyote hazing?
Well, I did make one of the coyotes smoke a full pack of cigarettes in front of me.
Never smoke again.
I kind of regret that, but it was funny.
So one of the things, this was from actually, oddly enough, I think it might be the Department of Agriculture, the USDA, which is surprising. I wouldn't know that they were in charge of coyote stuff, but they were basically saying, they did a crazy study where they basically had coyotes in captivity, and they exposed the coyotes to multiple different kinds of stimuli. And one of them was like an adult walking a dog. One was like a child walking a dog. One was like an adult walking a child, like all these different things. And basically the question was what does it take to habituate coyotes or make them less scared around people? We want them to be scared around people. And one of the things they found that could reverse, if they were getting too comfortable around people, what would reverse it was hazing them. I think that the term hazing is very funny. And it was having those same people shake like a can full of loud rocks or something, just making kind of unpleasant noises and yelling at the coyote. And over time, if they hazed them enough, then they became a little bit less comfortable around humans. And one of the things in this press release that I was reading was saying if you see a coyote, make sure to haze them.
Oh,
like
wow.
if you have spray them with a hose, like yell at them, throw stuff at them. Like you're supposed to be so mean to the coyotes.
Sell them a pool pass when there is no pool on the school grounds. Yes.
Order a bunch of stuff for the dinner that they're not going to eat, but then say, "Are we splitting this?"
Have pizzas delivered to their house unbeknownst to them and stick them with the bill.
Yeah.
I guess you can't do that anymore. I guess that's one thing I guess that's a prank that really dates me, huh? Like you can't order food and then pay upon delivery anymore. You're paying up front.
Yeah, you're right. That's one way that the sort of Uber Eats and the DoorDashification of life has really changed. But yeah, so you're supposed to do. I just didn't even know before this morning on my airplane flight. I didn't know that coyote hazing was something that I should be doing possibly every day.
Yeah,
if given the opportunity.
Get out there.
Okay, so coyote hazing, and then also ranking the top 10 Costco's in the Seattle area, which is going to be tough for me, being that I've been to 0 of them. But luckily, the other guest, a writer named Naomi Tomke, who I'm not sure if you've been on the show with Naomi or not.
I don't think so.
Naomi Tomke literally wrote the article for Seattle Met, where she did an incredible amount of research. It's a great piece, by the way. She appears to be a really good writer. And it like really breaks down the different Costco's in the Northwest and what are the strengths and the weaknesses. I did not know there was any difference. I thought a Costco was a Costco was a Costco, but I guess they have different like inventory based on maybe where it's located and what the local community is like. The parking is different, and she really gets into like what makes a good Costco parking lot or a bad Costco parking lot.
Is Shoreline on the list? You don't have to tell me where on the list, but is the one
low.
that I would go to very low on the list? Okay.
It's not. If I remember right, actually, you know what, Andrew?
Maybe that's
I don't
why
want to
I
do that
hate
from memory.
Costco's. Maybe that's because I go to.
I don't want to do that from. I don't want to do that from memory because here's I'll give you a little behind the scenes because I'm on this email thread, right? Mm-hmm. Naomi mentioned in our email thread, I think this is okay for me to share, that and I don't remember which one it was, but one of the locations that she basically kind of put it more towards the bottom of the list. And she loves Costco, by the way. So she's like, any Costco will do. Mm. But, if you're ranking them, one has to be first and one has to be 10th. And one of the ones that was lower on the list, she said somehow before she even had finished the article or posting the article, like maybe the article had been posted at Seattle Met, but it was up for only a few minutes. She gets a call from the general manager of that location apologizing for the fact that she did not have an ideal experience. Oh, wow. And this person said to her something like, we got 400 or 500 employees here who feel really bad that you had a less than great experience. And by the way, her experience wasn't even bad. It was just like,
you have to rank you somewhere amongst.
You got to rank them, and like they're not in charge of the parking lot.
Yeah,
it wasn't even like the customer service was bad. It was just like the layout could be more ideal. A bunch of stuff that has no connection to the people who work there. And in her mind, she was like, this only sort of like this only verifies and sort of like proves that Costco is a very, very well-run organization that really cares about the customer experience.
Yeah, I will say that as much as Costco is not for me, I don't like that kind of shopping experience. I don't want to get it twisted. It sounds like they're a pretty good company, and it sounds like they treat their employees well, and also the employees really treat the customers well. Every time I've had any kind of experience there, the customer service really is top notch. I should give them a shout out. One thing, and I hesitate to even bring this up, because it goes a little bit negative town, especially in a region that I love to death here in Seattle. But one of the only other, I'm trying to think, I've only been to one Costco, and it's the one, closest to me, which is in Shoreline. And you said that doesn't even rank super high on this particular list. So maybe
I could be misremembering though. So I really, really want to not be quoted on that.
The other Costco I went to, and by the way, when I go to a Costco, it's usually like middle of the day, middle of the week. So I'm not even getting the worst crowds. I just get real anxious in there right away, and people are. I just feel like the ability of people to have situational awareness is just like evaporates there, and people are bumping. Like I literally watched a woman like just start walking backwards and bump into people. I'm just like, how would you just in a crowd like this? How do you just decide you're going to start walking backwards for a moment? Anyway, the only other one I've now been to two. And it was in the suburbs of Cleveland. I don't know exactly where, but somewhere on the west side. My dad had to run in just to buy a pie. And he ran in middle of the day on a Saturday, Luke. The parking
He just
lot
came back covered in blood.
The parking lot was a zoo, but he found a spot, and he doesn't like to park super close anyway, which is fine. But I'll say this, and this is where it gets a little bit controversial. The layout of the Costco was exactly like the one or very, very similar to the one that I would go to here in my neck of the woods. But the situational awareness of the customers stood out to me. It was like probably twice as busy as any Costco I've ever been in before, but I didn't see this sort of like I'm just walking at a decent pace with my cart and then I just stop short. And you know what I mean? And I do think, and this is a little bit rude, of the city that I have adopted and love so much. I literally live in my favorite place on earth, which is Seattle, Washington. But I do think that there is a situational, I see it on the highways, I see it on the byways, and I see it in the Costcos. I think it has to do with situational awareness writ large in this region.
That also would kind of explain how you are. Maybe that's a Midwest thing.
Oh,
the way that you're like very, very, you're hyper aware of yourself in space, and you really don't like to be blocking people accidentally or stuff like that. You're super polite about that. I wonder if that's a Midwest thing.
I wonder.
You know where they really don't have it? Let's not just besmirch the Northwest. Let's also besmirch Miami, Florida.
Oh yeah,
man, that is, as my Aunt Mary Lou once wrote on a term paper in college, it's doggy dog down there, Andrew. People are not. So I told you that the hotel I was staying at, the Good Time Hotel.
Oh yeah,
that like they were always having like the front desk line was always insanely long for some reason, and I do think it was a lot of like influencers that were having problems with their hotel bill or something. But also, what was happening is people were constantly coming out of the elevator and then just ignoring the line. And I want to be careful about this because it's, this can get very dicey. But I was pretty certain that most of the people that were doing that were folks that were not from the United States, based on either the language that I would overhear them speaking with their partner or just a vibe. And, I've been to various places that are not the United States. I can kind of sense these things. And what it reminded me was certain moments in Europe where you're sometimes in a place where it's like, it's just, you got to fend for yourself more than maybe we do in the United States. And so it's like people just, and also I could see it associated with like, if you live in a part of the world where it's always kind of a hassle, like the line is going to be long, the bureaucracy is going to be tough, the whatever of it is going to be, you then as an evolution, like you, from an evolutionary standpoint, you then develop just kind of like, I'm just going to walk up to the front and I'm going to show them this tag and I'm going to just like get my suitcase. I'm not going to wait in this line of people dealing with reservation problems when all I need is my suitcase from the back room. And you could really see like it was, I was just noticing it as I was, even last night I was walking home from the pizza party. Oh, by the way, just so you know, and we love this. Not to brag, but the business boys, we picked up the tab for the pizza, felt that it was appropriate getting to meet with a 10 and his 11 and somebody who supported the show financially over the years and just seemed like, the right thing to do.
And it was just you, right? Just to be very clear. So you were having dinner, but you're saying that we as a company picked up the check as well we should.
Correct.
Yeah.
TB, the business boys, and I actually had one of the business boys' credit cards with me, which is rare, and it actually worked, which is even more rare, which means I activated it successfully. And I swear to God, sign the bill, say goodbye to everyone, and I start walking down Washington Avenue in South Beach towards my hotel. Bing! My phone goes off. John Sklaroff. This is a suspicious charge for pizza in South Beach. Was this you? Lest anyone worry that the TBTB Dollarinis are not being carefully watched by the number one business boy. They absolutely are. And we love that, by the way, because it means that no one's going to get away with any shenanigans.
Well, it's funny because I've done that to John before, too. John and I both have notifications on our phone.
Oh, okay. So you also saw this.
I didn't notice yours because it gets a little bit complicated. I'm getting... Every time somebody buys something from our merch store, I guess I'm just going to explain it. I told you I didn't even want to explain this, but I will. So, first of all, anytime one of us uses one of our credit cards, I do get a notification on my phone. I didn't turn it on. I didn't ask for this, but it's what I've been given, and it's fine. It's a good way of, like, I guess, generally keeping track of things. It gets a little bit confusing, though, because we have this merch store, and so when people buy something off of our merch store, that essentially means we have to buy another shirt from the company that makes the shirts. So, basically, every time I get an email that says somebody bought something from the merch store, I also get a pop-up notification on my phone saying your account has been charged, because we're basically buying the materials that we're then passing along to the tens, of course. So that gets a little bit complicated. So all of that is to say, I didn't notice your pizza charge yesterday because it probably just was along in a wash of these other charges. But I will say that yesterday I bought some replacement parts for a microphone stand, and I was writing the email to you and John saying, hey, just so you know, here's a receipt. I bought these things. John was already hitting me up in the text message like, did you buy this thing? But also, he is really good today. He said, hey, you're going to see a big charge that just came through. I just had to buy a bunch of boxes because we're going to be sending out those greatest hits records pretty soon. So, yeah, we stay on top of it. Yeah.
No, that's good. I'd much rather that than the alternative where there's anything lax going on or we're not, keeping up on that stuff. Because again, we're a small, independent little business that exists only because of our donations, and we want to make sure that we're being good stewards with those donations. So I'd much rather John be very on the spot, and you be very on the spot with it. I honestly was slightly surprised last night that my TBTB credit card works.
Right.
Because I don't know if I'm authorized to use it or have it, but it worked last night.
And as I've told you many times, it does not pay for alcoholic beverages. You're going to need to itemize those out of the bill, Luke.
Dan had over 30 drinks.
And they were all beers in very tall boots.
It was weird. Dan had over 30 shots of tequila. He did not like tequila at the beginning of the night, but then he insisted.
Man, Dan.
Thank you, baby.
All right, let's thank some of those donors. These folks are making TBTL possible. Again, we're being very careful, extremely careful with the donations that are coming in from folks like Nicholas Jeffries of Lake Stevens, Washington. Thank you, Nicholas. This is 100% listener-supported podcasting going on right here. Without the Nicholas Jeffries of the world and the Becky Crandalls of the world, who's in West Jordan, Utah.
Oh, I've never heard of West Jordan, but I guess there's a lot of towns in Utah I haven't heard of.
I have heard of West Jordan, Utah for some reason. But we appreciate you, Becky. We also appreciate Brett and Elizabeth Strouch of Marietta, Georgia.
Oh.
They've been donating for years and years.
Nice. Thanks, guys.
Also, Donna Jarling is in Janesville, Wisconsin. Didn't we just have another Wisconsin person earlier this week from another, I think it was maybe Waukegan? Wait, is Waukegan in Minnesota? Did I just?
I have a Waukesha. Is it Waukesha, Wisconsin? Was yesterday.
Waukesha.
Waukesha. I knew I was saying that wrong. Sorry, everybody. Oof, that one's going to hurt.
You know what I said wrong yesterday, Andrew? Loudly wrong. Was
my God.
Rutgers is a private university, and it is not, of all the universities for me to pick as an example of how you name a private university so we know it's private, I picked one that was, in fact, public, as was pointed out by our friend P. Fletch very quickly upon hearing the show, and I'm sure many hundreds and thousands of other Scarlet Knights.
I mean, I did not catch that either. It's just the irony. For people who haven't heard it, you were talking about how the University of Miami is, to us, surprisingly a private school. University of Miami sounds like a public institution. You were saying, why don't these public institutions, or if they're private, they should have a name that indicates it's private? You know, like Rutgers. Of all of the examples, like, you could have said Harvard, you could have said Dartmouth, and I'm not piling on you, Luke. I didn't know either, but it's just the irony of all of the options of private schools. You pick the one public school that sounds like a private school.
Which, by the way, supports my theory that my University of Miami is very misleading, as is Rutgers University.
As is Rutgers, exactly.
Rutgers, you should not, if you're a public institution, you should not be allowed to be named Rutgers. And if you're a private institution, you should not be allowed to be named the University of Miami.
And there's one other I'm going to add to the list. There is an Ivy League school that sounds like a public school. You know what I'm talking about here? Do you know what
Penn?
the Ivies are? I think I'm thinking of University of Pennsylvania. Yeah, University of Pennsylvania. That's another one.
Very confusing.
Change thy name. Nora did it. You can too. University of Pennsylvania. I'm looking at you.
That's, I mean, easy peasy. Just change the name to University.
Just change it to the University of Rutgers.
There you go. At Miami of Ohio.
Miami of Ohio.
Thanks also to Ruthie Benton, who's in Los Angeles, California.
Hey. We're both familiar.
And then we've got Catherine. I am. The city and Ruthie.
Exactly.
Catherine Harvey is in Seattle, Washington.
Nice.
One of my very favorite places to be flying to early tomorrow morning. By the way, Andrew, we haven't even talked about this. I may actually need to come up to your house and do the show with you tomorrow in person. It depends on when they'll let me into the hotel.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's
Seattle.
true.
So this is what's happening is I'm doing this crazy dawn patrol everywhere where I'm getting to places before maybe they're ready to let me into the hotel room.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm glad you let me know. I will vacuum.
And thank you to all of our donors for making TBTL happen. We really could not do this without you.
There's a right way to rock and a wrong way to roll. You can just listen to your soul. Just remember that life is number one. You can be having so much fun. Just remember that life is much fun. You can be number one.
Before we get into the Blur Stays, quick reminder that we do have a TBTL virtual holiday party.
Oh,
Do we
yes.
still call them virtual parties like we did during the pandemic?
That's such a great question because, like, yeah, I think at this point we can just call it a party.
It's virtually a party. Yeah, we're having a party over Zoom, holiday party, and I thought
it's not a virtual party till Andrew virtually shows up.
That's what they say. But I was going to say, I don't want to confuse things here, but I was a little confused in my own mind. I thought this was coming up sooner than I thought. We actually have about 2 weeks before the TBTL holiday party. It's on Friday the 19th. And if you want to sign up for it, it's in the evening, by the way. It's at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And you can do the math on the other time zones. And if you want to join us, just go to tbtl.net. There's a button right at the top of the page. It says TBTL Holiday Party Sign Up. And that's how you'll get your Zoom link. And we're just going to chill. We're going to have some eggnog. We're going to share stories about holiday traditions, our favorite holiday traditions. So if you want to join the conversation, you can think about what special holiday traditions you want to share with us and the rest of the group. Or if you don't want to be called on, no big deal. You can just hang out and enjoy the warm glow of the holiday season and the love of the tens. So that's on the 19th.
We've already had to basically spring for the larger capacity Zoom meeting because we've had that much interest, which is great. So now, like, help us, amortize that. The more people that sign up, the more that will have been worth it to pay for the more capacity.
Yes.
But again, that's a good problem to have.
Definitely, yes. And again, these are the things, we've brought up several times on the show in the past couple of days, things that we've had to spend money on as a business boy organization, and that's what we are. And this is where people's hard-earned dollars are going when they donate to TBTL. So thanks for making it all possible.
Absolutely.
Nate says, listener Brian from Portland recently celebrated his Blur's Day. I don't get to see him very often these years, but when we do get together, it's like no time has passed. And congratulations to Brian and his lovely wife Sarah on their recent nuptials. Of course, they tied the knot on Halloween, Luke. Spooky. Happy nuptials. Much love from Nate, Carm, Katie, and Alyssa.
I wonder if that's our friend Brian, the pedal steel guitar player.
I believe it is.
And
it's a belated one.
I mean, we used him, and Brian, I hope this is all right. When we announced the TBTL holiday party, we used a little bit of Brian's fine holiday music because it didn't have any lyrics, so it wasn't competing. And it's just wonderful stuff. So everybody look Brian up and get his stuff. He's amazing.
Happy Blur's Day. Rachel says, I want to wish a happy birthday to my 11 Willie. That's my elf.
I knew you were going to do that.
Willie. Does it sound like elf? It doesn't sound like elf. You just know that it's my elf. You think so?
No. Hold on. Do it one more time.
Every time I do it, it gets a little bit further away. Willie. No, I don't know. I lost it.
I thought definitely the first two ones were pretty elfish.
Anyway, Rachel says, I want to wish a happy birthday to my 11 Willie, a kind man who is good at many things. Thanks for being great, my dude, and for not eating cats. I just threw that last part in there. That was an elf joke. And
It
really,
sounded,
it's a
you know,
bad
the-
one. Willie doesn't eat cats on that show. I don't even know what
The
I'm talking
original, the very first part of that message, could you read that again?
I want to
What
wish
was written?
a happy birthday to my 11 Willie. Was that it? You want
Okay,
more?
not that part. No,
a
keep
kind
going.
man who is good at many things.
That sounds like the way that, what's her name? Julianne Moore's character is talking about, I think, her doctor in The Big Lebowski, the person she's trying to send Jeff Bridges to
He's a
to
good
make sure
man.
that his
He's a good man.
good
and very
and
thorough.
He's a good man and very thorough.
And very thorough. Oh, I love that. By the way, did you see that it's not here in Seattle? It might be Portland. It might be L.A., places you frequent, that they're doing a rescreening of the Julianne Moore movie. Is it Safe? Is that the kind of
Oh,
culty
wow.
one, the really
Yeah, the
dark
Todd
one?
Haynes one?
Yes, they're doing they're rescreening that. I don't know if it's coming to our neck of the woods. But
I
was
think
excited
about
to
that
see
movie all the time.
It's a rough one.
Well, and I think about it when I'm in rooms like this, because this room, everything in this room, Andrew, at this Hyatt place is off-gassing. Everything is made out of the most synthetic. Because that's a person in the movie. She is a person who develops an environmental illness, right?
Mhm,
She's
yes.
been exposed to something that means that she's now having all these health consequences. And one of the things that they say sometimes, I mean, a lot of this stuff is really, really hard to pin down. But one of the things would be like newly installed super synthetic carpet that's just made out of God knows what.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that like in a certain way, the smell of new carpet is kind of nice. It kind of smells good to me. But I'm in a room that looks like they just formed this out of all of the worst chemicals you can make stuff out of in the last 24 hours.
Let me ask you a question about that movie, though. Because I'm now realizing I saw this movie when I was in college, and I was just like watching all of these movies that had, maybe were, not huge blockbusters, but were interesting, maybe a little bit more arty, a little bit more thoughtful, flying under the radar. But the thing is, I was a young man. I was just out of high school probably when I saw that movie. And I think a lot of it probably confused me. In my memory, I thought that she was having more kind of mental and emotional problems that she was blaming on environmental issues. Is the movie an exploration of her mindset about this, or is it a fact that she's actually getting sick from the environment?
I have not watched the movie in so long, Andrew, that I don't feel qualified to weigh in on that.
I should rewatch
But
that. God, I hope it's coming to town.
I mean, I guess what I would say is, knowing that Todd Haynes is a very talented filmmaker, I wonder if what he was also looking to recreate was that feeling of disorientation that people might have when they're going through something like this. I have a friend who has Lyme's disease and has talked about how, it's very, very, very hard to be suffering physically and to be going to the doctor and being told it's all in your head, basically. So I wonder if that's the concept that he's sort of exploring, whether or not it's in the head of the Julianne Moore character or not. I couldn't tell you because it was a long time ago.
Yeah, and I'm asking that because I feel like, oh, you know what? I was very young when I saw that, and I think it confused me, and I don't even have the answer to it. And all these years, it may have been sort of living incorrectly in my head. But anyway, all of that is to say, happy birthday to Tom Haynes. Todd Haynes.
That's what we're trying to say. Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look how things come full circle. Jake, the perfect daddy, says happy birthday to my perfect son.
Oh, now you're allowed to say
Nick.
it.
I'm just reading what's in front of me, my friend. Happy birthday to my perfect son, Nick. This year's Blur's Days will be our last before we can officially say we've been listening to TBTL for half of our lives.
Oh, my goodness.
So let's see here. This will be our last before we can officially say we've been listening to TBTL. So the more birthdays, I'm trying to do the math here.
Yes,
they're getting
we were always taught. Try to do math on the radio.
I see, because they're getting too old and too many years. But we're still making new TBTLs, though, right?
Well, no. I think the thing is that my guess would be that they're both turning 33.
I don't know.
Because if we've been doing this for 17 years.
Okay.
So read the message again, will you?
Okay. This year's Blur's Days will be our last before we can officially say we've been listening to TBTLs for half of our lives. Before we can officially say. I see. So they're growing up into Half-Life.
I guess, although, here's my question. Isn't it all constant and relative? as they're getting older, we're doing more shows. I mean, can anything beat? I don't know.
I think
what?
I think there's something about the construction of this particular sentence that has me kind of spinning out of control here. The point is,
I guess we'll say, well, wait. Jake is the perfect daddy, right?
Yes, Jake is in Chicago. Yep.
Yeah, I would say almost perfect daddy on that math, or at least on the description of that math.
Happy
Almost.
birthday, Nick. Nick, you're my favorite hot dog. Chris says, happy Blur's Day to Angela, a great friend, wife, and mother. Happy Blur's Day, Angela.
And thorough.
You notice that? No math. No math in Chris's Blur's Day message to Angela, and I love that.
A perfect daddy leaves Chicago on a train, going at 60 miles an hour towards his friend Nick.
I think that what got me there, and I don't want to return to it, but I think it has to do with like negatives or double negatives. And I know there are no double negatives in that sentence, but it sort of feels like this is the last time we can't
we can't any longer not say.
Exactly. I know that's not exactly it. I know it's on me, but that's what was happening to my brain there. Steven says, happy Blur's Day to my wonderful wife, Jay. You did it. You started a free robotics team in our community, and you've already made a big impact with kids on the team. I'm so proud of you for sticking with your values. It's not easy, especially now, but it's the right thing to do. Happy Blur's Day to our friend
Very
Jay.
cool.
Very cool. Jay's been listening to TBTL for more than half of her life now, by the way.
Yes, we know.
Yeah.
It's a very memorable story about the last radio broadcast of TBTL and our friend Jay.
Young, impressionable Jay. Andrew says, and I want to be very clear here, this isn't me, Andrew. This is a different Andrew. If I want to add anything to this Blur's Day, I will make it clear which Andrew is speaking. Right now, this is
thank you.
Listener Andrew, who is saying, wishing a happy Blur's Day to my incredible partner of over 20 years, Anna. You are such an amazing person, and I'm so lucky to have you in my life. I love all of the jokes and stories you share from our friends in Seattle. Hope you have an awesome birthday, and I can't wait for when you next serenade me with your TBTL melodica. Happy Blur's Day from your 11, Andrew.
Wow, what
sweet.
a lovely message from
Very
somebody
nice.
who is, you know, let's be honest, subjected to the show probably.
Absolutely.
And to for this Andrew, not you, other Andrew, to handle it with such equanimity, to be like our buddies from Seattle. That was a very, very
sweet.
generous way to talk about this thing that is TBTL.
Do you? I'm thinking about the Coyotes again. Instead of rattling a can with rocks at them, can we haze them by just blasting TBTL, like kind of psyop
I mean,
style?
I feel like, I think at this point that would be a war crime.
Yeah.
Although we don't seem big on respecting the Geneva Conventions anymore in this country.
No.
I just know that when Manuel Noriega was in his stronghold in Panama, I believe they played heavy metal music to try to get him out.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we're out of music.
I think TBTL might be the new heavy metal music.
Yeah.
It might be the new thing they play to get people out of their strongholds.
I can't believe we ran out of music. It didn't seem like we were going that long. You're probably like, I got to get out of here. I have another podcast to do. So here, let me bring the music back, and I'm going to zip through these, Luke. For you, Luke, I'm zipping through. Amy says, I want to wish a happy birthday to my amazing wife, Heidi. Today is her golden Blur's Day. She's my best friend, my partner in all things, and the person who makes even the ordinary moments extraordinary. She's the best part of my life.
That's just so sweet.
I know. It just gets better and better. She's the best part of my life, and there's no mountain too tall for us. Happy Blur's Day, Heidi, from Amy and us. You guys are the best.
Absolutely adorable. We love it.
Ken swinging in here. This is our friend Ken in Michigan, right? Luke, is that where Ken is
yeah.
from? I hope Cinder had a very good Blur's Day Monday, says Ken. This is for Cinder. I also hope Michigan... Oh, yeah, here you go. Ask and answered. I also hope Michigan and MSU both have great years in basketball and play each other in March. Keep posting pictures of Traverse City and your corgi, Edward. Happy birthday, Cinder.
A couple of Michiganders there checking in.
Absolutely. Traverse City. And finally, Jesse in New Mexico says, I want to give a very Merry Blur's Day shout out to Nathaniel of Salt Lake City. You're my BFF, my ride or cry. All I've heard from the age of 30 onward is that it's nigh on impossible to make friends closer the closer you get to 40. I'm so happy to be the exception and not the rule. I can't adequately put into words how important you are to me. I wish you all the happiness in the world, you tiny, beautiful human being. Happy Blur's Day to Nathaniel of Salt Lake City from Jesse in New Mexico.
Wow, those are some very poetic,
sweet.
moving messages this week, honestly.
I agree.
Incredible stuff.
You know,
Happy
you're
Blur's
near
Day to
New
everybody.
Mexico, by the way. I don't know if can you swing by and say hey to
Yeah, I've got to
Nathaniel?
fly to New Mexico at 5 tomorrow and then do one other podcast. I have to do Isotopes Weekly.
Okay, good.
And then I'm going to get on a flight in New Mexico, and I'm going to fly to probably, I don't know, maybe like Medford, Oregon.
Perfect. Okay, good.
Where I'm going to be doing another local appearance talking about the new baseball stadium they're trying to build. And then, and only then, will I come up to Seattle and do TBTL with you, my friend.
Nice. I'm looking. Oh, by the way, yeah, we'll have to sort out what's going on tomorrow. By the way, I'm gonna get clean. Start.
It'll
cleaning
depend
up
on
over
if
here.
the Arctic Room Hotel will let me in early or not. That's where we're, I guess, staying this time around.
Well, you're
So,
welcome
anyway, I'll
here.
keep you posted.
I'll make some good broadcast coffee for you. It'll be fun.
Nice.
If you make it this way. All right, Luke, we got to get out of here. I'm sorry. I feel like I was lollygagging near the end and keeping you.
This is good. I want to stay in the flow. I don't want there to here to be honest with you. If I'd had like 45 minutes between the end of our show and the beginning of this next recording, I would have been tempted to close my eyes like
you gotta keep
on
going.
the bed in the hotel room, and that would have been a bad thing. So this is good. I'm just keeping the content train rolling, my friends.
Nice.
We'll see some of you maybe tonight at the Wait show in Arizona. Andy Richter is Not My Job guest. That'll be kind of fun.
Oh, that
We
is
love
fun.
him.
That's very.
He's
fun.
having a whole Richter sance. He's having he's on Dancing with the Stars, and he's becoming kind of the cult hero of Dancing with the Stars now. So he's got a whole new career going. Anyway, we'll be back here tomorrow with more Imaginary Radio for all of you. That much I can assure you of. So we'll see you then. In the meantime, have a great Thursday. Take care of yourselves, and please remember, no mountain too tall.
And good luck to all.
Power out.